everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Rime of the Frostmaiden, Part 5, Mountain Climb. Today is January 24th, 2021, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, including full playthroughs of Curse of Strahd, Ghost of Saltmarsh, Waterdeep Dragon Heist, Tomb of Annihilation, as well as an ongoing campaign in our homebrew world, and we are nearing the end of our Tyrant Security game as well. So, hey, check out that one as well. But if you are more of an audiocast styled person, hey, guess what? We're also available anywhere that audiocasts are made available for free. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us at once again at patreon.com/indooradventures. But if you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on YouTube, Twitch, all of those other places, and you're thinking to yourself, where can I go to help support this wonderful show even more? Guess what, buddy? We got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, aprons, shower curtains, clocks, all sorts of accoutrements, and most importantly, we also have, that's right, face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, done by our very own Cyberwolf 1201, and all of the proceeds of those face masks end up going to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause or help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. But that is it for my spiel. So, hey Satan, who are you playing today?
Hi, I'm Satan, and today I will be playing Kuori, the Goliath fighter. We both use she/they pronouns.
Oh, hi. I'm LizMac. I will be playing Lydia, our rock gnome cleric, and we both use she/her pronouns.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be playing as Hart, the Wood Elf Druid. We both use he, him.
Hello everybody, I'm RJ, but today I'll be playing Rocky, the Human Ranger, and we both use he, him.
And I am your DM for today. My name is Danae Keener. I use she, her. Let's just get right into it. Sovereign of summer's lost, general of winter's war, long live the queen of cold and frost. May she reign forevermore. The mountain juts out of the ground like a dagger piercing the sky. Wind cuts around it in ribbons of ice. They penetrate even the thickest of winter wear, dragging and pulling, threatening to dislodge one from the mountain's treacherous face and send them plummeting to the rocks below. Everything about Kelvin's Cairn is perilous and inhospitable, so why would anyone in their right mind try to climb it? Because it's there, some would say. It's a conquest, a place of proving for those who have something to prove. But the path up Kelvin's Cairn is lined with the frozen corpses of those who thought they were worthy of the summit. All the best guides know, if you're going to climb the cairn, the reason had better be worth dying for. That same sentiment is written all over the face of the guide in front of you. Garrett's looking at you with sort of a piteous look, nursing his own wounds from having almost met his end on this very same cliff face. He's just told you, Lydia, that he knows your brother.
Oh boy. When did you meet him?
A few days ago. Targos.
And do I know when he last saw him? I can't quite remember if we got to that sort of topic of...
Not necessarily. A few days ago, I was approached by an adventuring party. They wanted to climb the cairn. They all had different reasons, but the most common one being that they were looking for someone named Oyaman Aartok. A mythical werebear who is said to sometimes be up on the Cairn. I've never seen her myself, but, well, there was a chance, and that seemed a good enough reason for them.
Can I make a history check?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that a name that I recognize as well?
It's a name that Kuori recognizes.
I was gonna say that, but I was scratching my eyes and I couldn't reach the unmute
Yeah,
button.
no, feel free.
Yeah.
Hey,
No,
how's
I
a
was-
natural
yeah.
20 for 19?
Oh, fuck. Rocky, you know exactly who Oyaman Aartok is. She's a werebear that people claim to have seen wandering the tundra. She typically is a benevolent force. She tends to kind of show up, like she's generally seen as kind of a sign of good fortune, because she tends to find people and save them from certain death.
All right, now level with me here, because I think this would be hilarious.
Okay.
Oh, you mean Auntie O? Yeah, she brought me into town one time when I almost froze to death out there.
Jesus. Yeah, of course. No, that's fine. Absolutely.
I got a 23 on my history, even though I knew the name. I rolled just in case.
Well, Kuori, you'd be able to have the insight that she's actually a Goliath, that her humanoid form is that of a Goliath.
Mm-hmm. Have I seen her before, or
Probably in passing.
was
Like,
she part of my clan?
No.
Okay.
No. I think that your clan sees her with reverence. She's not a myth to them. They know that she
Yeah.
exists, but she's the kind of person that you only see like off in the distance during a
Yeah.
blizzard, and she cuts a silhouette and then she like looks at you and then disappears into the wind, like Balto's mom.
I
Like
know
Bambi's
who that
mom.
is.
Not like Bambi's mom.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm sorry, Liz. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was just messing.
I know who that is. That's she's actually a Goliath.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That explains the really powerful arms.
Yeah. I've seen her in passing.
But why?
Yeah, that's what Mokingo said.
I don't understand why they would risk themselves here in the Cairn for her.
Why would my brother be looking for her?
Nah, he wasn't looking for her. He said he had other reasons to go up the mountain. He seemed an awful lot like he was running from something. Kind of always looking over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Kuori will look to Lydia. He did have a bounty on his head.
I know, and I'm sure that he knows too.
It's possibly that's what he was running from.
I hope he's still okay. It's you said it's been a few days since you've seen him?
Oh no. It was less than 6 hours ago, if my estimation's correct. I've been lying at the bottom of this cliff for under a day, I think. I'm pretty sure. He kind of ruffles Boy's ears. You can hear them kind of flop against his dumb head. And he's gonna hike himself to his feet. He still kind of favors his shoulder, but he starts to look up the mountain kind of with a discerning eye. And it becomes clear to you that he's planning on climbing back up there.
You're not fit to climb this mountain.
I thank you for saving my life, bringing Boy back to me. I definitely would have died if it weren't for you, but I have to go back. There are people up there who depend on me, and I'm a guide. I always keep my promises to the people that hire me. Call it an honor thing.
Well, good. You're taking us with you. We gotta go. 6 hours? That's no time at all. We can find him soon.
It's going to take us a while to get up this mountain.
You know what, Garrett? You should take it easy for now. I practically grew up around these cairns. I can lead us up for the time being, and once we find your party, you can lead them back.
He gives you a doubtful look, like just kind of like a ooh. Rocky, I know that you know this place pretty well. But let me be honest with you. A lot of the people who go out with you don't come back.
Well, I do warn them about things, and they just happen to step into crevasses, or sometimes the mountain people get them. It's not my fault, really. I am a good guide, I swear.
I believe you, Rocky.
Insight check?
Which one?
Rocky?
on Rocky or Garrett?
Yeah, on Rocky.
Yeah, good question. Okay, go for it. Rocky, roll a persuasion or deception. You don't have to say which.
Okay. 15.
19 plus 120.
All right. Is Rocky lying?
He's telling the truth. He's a good guide. He's grown up in these mountains.
Okay.
Just bad things happen, apparently, to the people who go with him.
Kelvin's Cairn is a dangerous place. We use corpses as landmarkers to know how far we've gone.
Yeah, I should probably tell you guys when, there's weak ice under you instead of getting over it and then saying, look out, it's weak there, and then you step on it.
That's probably a good idea.
There's not a lot that you can do when you're attacked either.
Or
Come on, we should start.
We can defend ourselves, as
Hey,
you can tell. But
listen, some of the mountain people are good people. It's just some of them get hungry. And Rocky will start walking.
Oh, no.
He kind of gives you an appraising look, Kuori. Yeah, Makingo thought that too. And I'm pretty sure that
Can suck it.
I'm pretty sure I saw a Yeti take his head off.
Well, too bad, Makingo.
So your king went to the grave then. Because my king go.
He McKean went.
He's McKing dead.
He's McKean gone.
That was the one I was going to go for, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
Kuori's gonna look to Hart and Lydia and stay close.
Well, if there are Yetis and other things around, it's probably a good idea that we stay close.
Don't worry, Kuori. I've got your back. And Lydia will hop up on Kuori's back.
Aw, it's fucking cute.
She's going to actually give a small smile and just pat her head from the back. This could have gone two ways. She would have either thrown snow at your face or pat your head. There's no other way this could have gone.
Just
Fair.
Moment of silence, dice roll. She pats your head.
Yeah.
All right.
I gotta get into the Kuori mindset, Kuori Lydia mindset. It's been a week, guys.
As you start heading up the mountain, Garrett will explain to you. Garrett is kind of your prototypical lumberjack-looking fella. He's pretty buff. Rocky would know that he's kind of hairy underneath, prone to wearing flannels. And
he's hairy underneath.
How do you know?
There's a polar
do you
bear
know?
competition.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
How do you know?
oh my god.
He's happily married to the Scrimshaw.
That's what the kids are
Some
calling it
people
these
have
days.
some people have open relationships.
Garrett is happily married to a scrimshander.
Sorry.
No, he's married to the Scrimshaw.
to the concept of scrimshaw. He's
Exactly.
married. No. However, he does have a nice beard. He's got that kind of thing where his beard is red, but his hair is brown. It's a real thing. It's a thing that actually happens. Those of you who know me personally, if you've met Graham, he's got that thing going on. Any Hoosers, that's what Garrett looks like, and he's heading up the mountain. He's going to tell you exactly what happened to him. He was going up the mountain. He had 4 people with him. The first person is Makingo Akanathi. He's a Goliath warrior. They call him the Growling Bear. He wanted to find Oyaman Aartok and test his mettle against her. He's pretty sure that Mokingo is dead.
Long without the head.
Kuori, you would recognize the Akanathi as your rival tribe.
She just doesn't say anything.
Strategic silence, my favorite thing. He also was taking a wizard up the mountain named Solidago Castor. He was a very hoity-toity fella. He saw him disappear into a cave when the Yeti attacked. He doesn't know how he's doing. A third person was a female tiefling named Asterix. She kind of mumbled and swore a lot. He doesn't know what her story is. She didn't talk much aside from that. And then the fourth person, of course, is Lydia's brother, who complained a lot about missing his wallet, and said that he wanted to see a historical site at the top of the Cairn.
Would I know of this historical site?
Yeah, give me a history check if you'd like.
All right, Rocky.
Can I do
you
the
were in
same
your
as well?
element.
Absolutely. Anybody who's interested.
Please.
16?
16's not bad.
15.
15's not bad either.
22.
Gotta have spells now.
Jiminy Jim Jim. Okay.
Natural 18 plus 4.
I'll say that Lydia knows this pretty well. Kelvin's Cairn is a place that is it's a pretty significant historical place. There was a famous dwarf named Brunor Battlehammer. And the place that he's likely talking about is Brunor's what is it called? It's a stack of rocks, Brunor's Climb. It's about a 15-foot high column of stone that has a good vantage point over Tourmaline. And Brunor Battlehammer was known to be a compatriot of a famous drow named Dritz Doerden.
Dritz.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's likely what he was talking about.
You mean the dwarf
Name
pillar?
dropping.
In fact, the dwarves that live down in the valley, many of them trace their lineage back to the Battlehammers.
I know he's running, but what would he be doing up there?
Why was he looking into a ship called the Black Duchess?
I don't understand why a site like this would be so important that you risk your life and leave your family.
Well, sometimes at important sites, people leave stuff. So maybe he's looking for something that was left there.
Maybe he's looking for his wallet.
People.
Well, I don't think he'd be looking for his wallet because Lydia has his wallet. And if he was looking for his wallet, then he would be looking for Lydia.
Oh.
I don't think that he knows I have his wallet, though.
I'm sorry, Corey, I cut you off.
Start climbing, eh?
Yeah, let's keep going. We can figure out why later. Right now,
We can ask him why, yes? Once we find him.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to have a skill challenge to climb the mountain.
Oh boy.
So I'd like everybody to roll into initiative for this.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Have we done a skill challenge in Rime of the Frostmaiden yet?
No.
I don't think we
Okay.
have. Anybody want to be in
Wait,
charge?
yes, we
Explain?
did. We had a skill challenge when we were running across the ice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I would say if Rocky is guiding us, then he would be in first, but Corey
Yeah.
would be close to him.
I am tied with Kuori, quite literally, so.
Yeah.
Ascot's a 19.
What's that face, Hart?
19 for Rocky.
Well, I rolled a natural 1 for my initiative order, which brings it to a 4.
Same
Excellent.
hat, but it brings it to a 2.
I have
Wow.
16.
Guys. I'm sorry, Satan.
What'd you get, Corey?
16.
16. Alrighty.
I hear I'm sorry, Satan, all the time. Doesn't gotta mean it.
Okay.
Daddy,
okay.
I've been naughty. For the last time, my son is father, I have sinned.
Gross.
Wow.
Oh.
I feel icky now.
Gross. Okay, so
love
here's how this is going to work. You guys need to get 6 successes before 3 failures. If you get 3 failures before all those successes, there will be consequences.
Yay, consequences!
Huzzah! But also, Garrett is here and willing to help. So he will provide one of you per round advantage on either a perception or a survival check.
Can we also use boy for a perception check?
Nah.
No? Okay.
Boy is a good boy. And he's just here for moral support.
He's here as the emotional support animal.
Yep. And he'll give you tactics eventually. If you get into another combat.
I know I've been hearing a lot about Yetis recently.
Beware. Okay, at the top of the round, we have Rocky.
Hey!
What are you going to do to help your friends get up this mountain without dying?
I'm gonna assume that Satan wants to use a survival check, so I'm gonna do a stealth check.
Oh, yeah, I'm really bad
Ooh.
at those.
Rocky will basically, if there's a tree or something, he'll snap off a branch and then start covering their tracks so they can't be like. If there are mountain people out here that want to cannibalize them, it'll be harder to track them.
Gotcha.
Please, I'm but just an appetizer. I'm
Hey.
so small.
Baby, I'm
Are
a
you
3
telling
full
me
course
that-
meal.
Are you telling me that Lydia is a snack?
Well,
Yeah.
if
I got a
she-
21, by the way.
That's very good, and that is plenty to get you a success. So well done. Kuori is next with Hart on deck.
Survival check. May I get advantage on that survival check?
Yeah, you can if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Garrett.
Oh
can-
God. Okay. Yeah. Natural 24, 23. That first one was a 7.
That is a success.
Hey.
All right. So how is Kuori utilizing Garrett's help for this survival check?
She'll kind of has Garrett like been up the Cairn before?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
up and down this cairn more times than he can count.
She'll probably have him like tell her the dangers of it and what they need to look out for, and then she'll take like an almost like a co-guide to Rocky and him to look out for everything like the knives or anything that might be precariously placed.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I feel like Kuori is very familiar with mountain travel just from
Yeah.
the nature of where she lives and who she is.
Mhm.
So between the three of you, you guys are very carefully and very effectively, cairnfully making your way up this mountain. Hart, it's your turn with Lydia on deck.
Okay. Hart is. We were told that there are spots that there's going to possibly be like weak ice, that sort of thing, climbing up this mountain. Hart has a quarterstaff. I'd like to use a perception check to kind of like 10-foot pole my way up this mountain, just kind of like tapping in front to see if there is going to be like a brittle spot of ice or if it's going to be a solid place to step.
I can respect that.
Okay, so I need to stop using that dice. That's a 13.
That is a failure.
Whoops.
I say that Hart is pretty light compared to the rest of you. So he's poking around with his stick, and he pokes some ice, and it doesn't budge for him. And he walks out on top of it. And Kuori, I think, is able to like spot that it's about to crack underneath him. And she just kind of like snatches him back before it tumbles away.
Did I steal his heart?
Did you steal his heart?
Yeah.
It's still where I left it, inside of me, where it should be.
However, I'll say that this leaves you with a gap that you must contend with or circumnavigate. Lydia, it's your turn with Rocky on deck.
From Lydia's higher perspective, since she is standing even taller than Kuori with her little setup, she's going to use a perception check to try and...
Or just use a perception check. You're going to have to use something else.
Okay. Let me just persuade the mountain to be cooperative.
Well, if you wanted to use a persuasion check, you can actually try and use that to coordinate the group a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah, Lydia can shot call from her perch.
You know, just take on a supervisor role.
Yeah, that's 22. Natural 18 plus 4.
Oh, shit.
That is fantastic. You persuade the shit out of your friends.
She's very driven to get up this mountain as quickly as humanly possible. Or Goliathly possible.
I can hear it now. Hart has just been snatched away from the edge, and Lydia's like, "Oh, it's okay, Hart. That could have totally happened to anyone. That's fine. We're just gonna pick ourselves back up from our bootstraps, and we'll get through this together." Sorry, I just kind of took care to control your character for a second. She says whatever you want her to say.
I mean, that's pretty accurate.
All right, Rocky, it's your turn with Kuori on deck.
I figure eventually they come up to a sort of ravine area, like a rope drawbridge has been basically broken, and Rocky's size ties a rope around himself, and he's going to use an acrobatics check to just jump across this ravine.
I imagine like you tie the rope around yourself and you toss the other end to the group, and they like fumble with it for a moment.
Oh, as soon as the rope leaves his hands, he is gone.
Nice. All right, go for it.
Natural 20 for a 26.
Did you just get a second natural 20?
No,
Satan
I got
the
a
other
20.
one.
It was
Yeah,
Satan who got that. All right, you guys are doing
Yeah.
pretty darn good here.
Like, there's a moment he lands on the rope of the bridge. It snaps, but he jumps off of it, flips in the air, and then lands on the other side. Ta-da! Ties it to a rock.
Amazing. All right. Sounds good. Kuori, it's your turn with Hart on deck. You've got 4 successes, 1 failure.
What did you just use, Rocky?
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics. And in front of us, it's like there's a gap.
Yep, there's a gap, and Rocky has just tied off a rope to assist you in getting across.
May I use athletics to basically, instead of walking on the rope, she's just gonna like hang from it and just fucking climb it.
That would
Just
be
pull-
great, but Rocky just used athletics.
Oh,
I used
thought
acrobatics.
You used acrobatics? Well, fuck yeah, then do it.
Okay. 16?
That is enough.
Fuck yeah. Does that mean Lydia's also with me?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just Garrett and Hart on the other side now.
Where are we at on the fails and successes?
5 to 1, yeah.
5 successes, 1 failure.
All right. We got some wiggle room.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good. Hart, it's your turn with Lydia on deck.
Oh boy, I wonder what's gonna happen when I roll numbers.
Okay.
You'll do fine. This is gonna be great.
Well, seeing as how boy, the doggo, is not going to be able to properly climb across this rope, but he's probably going to find like another more scrambly kind of way because he's a pupper. To make it across, Hart is going to use animal handling to possibly see the path that boy is going, and he would like to follow that.
Okay.
Partnering up with a dog? Hart, is this character growth?
No, but it's survival. Hey, that's a 21.
That's gonna be enough. And also, it puts you over. You have succeeded in your skill challenge. You watch as boy kind of whimpers and whines and walks back and forth, kind of sniffing about. And you see him like do the little hunch, like very careful dog trying to go down a hill kind of thing. And for a moment, it looks like he has just absolutely plummeted himself off the side of this cliff. But you look over the edge and you can see that he's just carefully picking his way across rocks and such, and making his way across the cliffside on the narrowest of ledges. And Garrett just kind of nods affirmatively at that, and he will kind of throw a leather strap over the rope, and like hook it to a harness on himself, and then like pull himself across the rope.
That
Hey, fair
sounds
there,
smart.
Do you go the same way that boy does?
Yeah.
All right. Just carefully pick your way across. And I'll say that like they could even move the rope over a little bit,
Yeah.
so that you have something to hold on to in case like you slip. But you are able to make it across, from your innate understanding of animals and the way that, and watching very carefully how boy got there. Huzzah! You did it! No consequences for you today.
Aw.
Now with that attitude.
Before long, it takes you a few hours to get up the mountain, but before long, you come to a place where you can see that there is some dark stains of blood in the snow. And Garrett kind of kneels and he says, this is where we got jumped. And he kind of like tracks several sets of footprints in a particular direction. He says, right here is where I tried to get the Yeti to follow me. And right here, he points at like a particularly tumultuous upheaval of snow, is where the Yeti grabbed the Goliath and ripped his head off. And then right here, he points at some like fresh untrodden snow and just kind of draws a line across the sky and over the cliff, is where the Yeti threw me. That wasn't fun.
It's a good thing that the snow's a lot softer down there than it is up here.
Yeah, that probably saved my life.
And you didn't see where my brother went?
I saw him start to run. He and Asterix kind of went in the same direction. I'll bet they're farther up the mountain, but I know for a fact I saw the wizard go in here. And he kind of points in the direction of a cave. And he says, you don't have to follow me in here, but I'm going to have to go in.
Well, wherever you're going, you're not going alone. If there are Yetis nearby, it's better if we stick together.
All right. But stay low and stay quiet.
Okay.
He leads you into the cave. Immediately, this cave looks... it opens up quite a bit, just a few feet in. You can see that there is a cavern that just, or rather a canyon just kind of immediately in this cave. And you hear Garrett give a low whistle, and he kind of looks over the edge and he says, well, I'm not seeing any wizard robes, so I guess he didn't fall down there. And he looks left and right. You can see towards the left, there seems to be an ice sheet that goes over the cavern. And towards the right, there seems to be a more stable rock outcropping that leads across it.
Is it dark? Is there a light source at all?
It is very dark in here, and there is no light source at all.
Does everyone in the party have dark vision?
Nope.
Just you and me.
Neither does Garrett.
I don't have dark vision.
Okay, so Lydia will hop down off of Kuori's back and gesture for her to kneel. And as she does, she puts her hand over Kuori's eyes. And Kuori, you see like a bright shimmering silver light, and when you open your eyes again, you have dark vision. And she will do the same for Rocky and Garrett.
So you just cast a spell to give them dark vision?
I have Eyes of Night, which means up to 3 willing creatures can see, can share my dark vision for 1 hour.
Oh,
and I can do that. I can do that once per long rest.
And that's a thing tied to your cleric subclass.
Yes.
Very cool.
Twilight domain.
God,
Cory's
Twilight domain's so
blink.
cool.
Yeah. Cory's just gonna blink her eyes like, well, that's nifty.
Well, thanks, Miss Lydia. Can I make a perception check to track anything unusual going through these caves?
I'd say perception or survival.
Okay.
Perception will allow you to see things. Survival will allow you to interpret them.
Sorry, I just need... I don't think this type of ranger gets favorite terrain. I get Deft Explorer. Yes. Okay. Will a 15 garner anything for me?
Is it a perception or survival?
Survival, sorry.
Survival. Okay. You can tell that this is definitely a cave where some sort of predator lives. In fact, towards the right, over the rock outcropping, you can see that there are bones littering the floor. Definitely humanoid bones.
Cory's just
Looks
gonna
like...
quietly take out her sword.
Quietly point that out.
Just going to keep this out on my hand just in case.
Yeah, I think that's for the best.
And while you're at it, whilst all of you kind of put yourselves on your guard, there is a jolt that goes through the party as you all hear deeper down in the cave sounds of distress. Just
Sounds
kind
like-
of shuffling and the sound of a man shouting, yelling, being kind of battered around.
I think we found
Rocky
the
bolts.
Yeti. Cory's gonna go.
He bolts over the rock outcropping or over the ice outcropping.
Towards the sound, which way would get me there closer, faster?
It's kind of echoing around. It
Oh.
kind of comes from both directions.
Probably
Which-
over the rock outcropping because it looks safer.
All right. You go sprinting across the rock outcropping, and Kuori is close on your heels, which means that Lydia is also close on your heels, being that she is a kind of a
Unwilling passenger.
an accessory to Kuori. Oh no, Lydia's singing the backpack song. Oh, that's a distraction. Okay. As you go sprinting into the bone room, it appears that this is something of a trophy room. You can see that there are mountain goat bones on the ground, scattered with humanoid bones as well. Kuori, you can recognize that there is the fresh body of a Goliath somewhere on the floor. It has been gnawed on, but it's been kind of tossed aside and left for later, it seems. But worst of all is a collection of heads that have been set into alcoves in the wall, just divots in the ice that have been dug out. You can see that there's the head of a Goliath, there's the head of 2 dwarves, and I believe there's the head of one other thing there. But regardless, there are the heads of several humanoids just kind of placed, not in any sort of pattern, just into the wall.
I know this is like normal Yeti behavior.
Give me a survival check.
It's a 15.
15. You have heard that some Yetis will in fact take trophies.
Okay.
But if this does not give you guys pause, do you just continue?
Yes.
Yeah, Rocky's gonna
will
keep
continue,
going.
yeah.
As there's like a moment of pause when we're looking over all of this, Lydia will reach out and sort of lightly touch one of Hart's antlers. And there is this sort of silver and purple sheen that goes over him, and you feel very energized and just really on your game. And then if you want to mark down, you have advantage on your next initiative roll, whenever that may be.
Sure.
Hey, damn, Twilight Domain is dope.
Isn't it though? It's just so fucking cool.
Vigilant blessing, baby.
As you do this, a bearded Chewinga appears out from behind Hart's antlers, and it seems to be just as amped, and it starts doing pull-ups on one of his antlers.
I imagine it's doing like the Hulk Hogan, like doing the wind up with the ears, just like he's ready and alert.
Oh my god, amazing.
Yep.
It's got Hulkamania.
Doing classic team mascot sorts of things. Rocky, you come skidding around the corner. The first thing that you see is what appears to be a body laid out on the ice in front of you. It's a man wearing yellow robes. You can see that his wizard's cap is a few feet away from him, and he's got his hands over his head in a protective position. And then there is a streak of white fur as a little critter comes bounding over him, jumps over to the side of him, and you can hear the telltale signs of young Yeti laughter as it begins rolling him like a pencil across the floor. Just kind of hooks its arms under him and then flips, and he just goes and you can hear him groaning and expressing displeasure at being treated as a plaything. And the Yeti claps and kind of shrieks its delight as he goes skidding.
Rocky will pull his hood back and put 2 fingers up to his mouth and whistle to the Yetiling.
It looks up at you and kind of furrows its brow like, who the fuck are you? Yetilings kind of have a purplish skin to them, which is only visible on their face, their paws, their ears, and the rest of its body is just covered in this very silky, soft, downy white fur, just the color of snow. And it's got these big, huge eyes that are rimmed in blue, as well as a couple of stubby horns, the same color as its skin.
If the party rounds the corner, they see Rocky thump his chest twice, raise a hand, and make a circular motion.
You see the Yeti tyke kind of consider you. Quietly give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Yeah. I'm in my element, guys. I swear.
A 19?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It was a natural 20, but I have a -1 to charisma.
Bless you. Okay, what are you trying to communicate to this little tyke?
We're friendly. We mean no harm.
Uh-huh.
And you should really stop doing that. That's not nice, basically.
Okay. It bares its teeth at you and gives kind of a low, trilling shriek, which essentially tells you that it's a little brat and it doesn't want to listen to what you're telling it.
Oh,
Like,
Rocky just stares it down, gets down on all fours, and like thumps his shoulder. Like he's raring to go.
Which means basically, I'll fight you for this.
I'll fight you for this.
Gotcha. As you do this, there is a low growl from deeper in the cave, and you look up and you see that there is a much larger figure just kind of sitting in the shadows. There is the silhouette of a large, shaggy body, and from the head of which is protruding 2 large horns. And you see a hand come up and beat onto the ice, which is a warning, like, don't fuck around.
He will turn and to this one, do the same thing, two thumps to the chest and a circular wave.
All right, now give me a persuasion check. Not with advantage this time.
Okay.
Because this is Mama, and you being mean to her baby.
Guess who nat 20'd again?
Motherfucker! Okay.
I'm in my element, guys.
So Rocky seems to be communicating with what appears to the rest of you is a Yeti tyke and its angry mother. How are you reacting to this?
I'm letting him do his thing.
Hart is just like eyes wide, locked in place. Like, if anyone moves, we're all dead. We're dead. He's not crying openly. He just like internalizes it.
All right. The mother stands up and she walks a little bit closer, using her knuckles to support her weight, which makes the ice just crack and strain underneath her. She approaches with an intense presence, but it is weirdly gentle. And when she gets closer, she slaps the ice one more time in front of you, Rocky. And then she reaches forward, grabs you by the shirt and drags you in. And then just kind of slumps you into her other arm. And she just starts giving you a noogie.
My baby now.
Essentially, yes. Rocky, you recognize her? This is not your mother, but she's a friend.
Yeah, he just wraps his arms around her neck and just nuzzles into her.
Is your mom a Yeti?
Bitch, she might be.
Is she single? I'm kidding.
The Yeti tyke will run up to Kuori and just kind of look at you and cock its head.
She'll repeat what she's seen Rocky do, which is the chest thump and then the
circular hand.
Yeah.
Give me a persuasion check.
Do I have advantage because Mama likes Rocky?
Mama likes Rocky. Mama's not too sure about Kuori.
Yeah, no. You're lucky you're not getting disadvantage.
With a +0, it's an 18.
Oh.
Nice. All right, cool. The Yeti tyke kind of sits back on its haunches and bares its teeth at you in a fashion that looks almost like a smile, almost like a grimace. Kind of slaps the ground with both its hands, and then it's going to climb up your body and get level with Lydia.
Yeah. She'll kind of like give it like scritches.
It gives that chirruping kind of shriek as though it seems happy about this. And then it looks over at Lydia, kind of sniffs her a little bit, and he's going to try and grab her out of the papoose.
Kuori will do that thing where you grab like a pet's like like a cat's hand. You're like, no.
Right. Okay. There's a growl from Mama.
Rocky will turn to Mama, and the party just hears a which basically translates to "that is her child."
Oh, to Mama?
To Mama, yeah.
Okay.
Like pointing out Lydia being the child of Kuori, just like roughest translation.
Right. She'll go like, which basically means let the kids play.
Hey, Mama says that Junior there wants to play with Lydia.
Can you tell her that she cannot, that Junior cannot throw Lydia?
I will let you know, RJ, this is something I didn't give you information on before. They play rough.
Yeah. I
Please tell her baby is sick.
Just translating that over.
Okay.
That's
give me
why
one.
She's so purple.
Purple's a good color for Yetis.
That's why she doesn't have white hair.
Give me another persuasion check. No advantage, no disadvantage, just flat.
How the 13, kids?
So you know how, like, you know, some families like back, I don't think this happens anymore. There's vaccines for chicken pox now, but you know how some families would have chicken pox parties?
Yep.
There's kind of an ideology amongst Yetis that, like, you know, if the Yeti tykes are playing and one of them dies, you know, that's just survival of the fittest, baby.
I will try to engage the tyke as if I'll play with him.
Okay. Give me an athletics check to counter the tykes, and we'll see how well you play.
I'm in danger.
17.
5. Okay.
Okay.
I feel like you literally just like palm him, like pick him up, kind of like drag him off of Lydia. She's pulled a little bit out of the papoose as his little grabby hands are just like he doesn't want to let go of her, and then she just kind of flops back into it as you put him back down on the ground, and then like get your hand on his head, and he's just like trying to scramble back up towards you, like hands up.
Yeah. She'll put a hand on his head, and then the other one will just scratch his belly.
This kind of bullying behavior seems to be acceptable to the mother, because that's just kind of the way that Yetis interact.
That's how you learn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rocky has scrambled behind the Yeti, and he's starting to pick out things from her fur and just asking her, like, how's everything? How's Mom? Have you seen her recently?
Can I just take a quick look at the man who was like being thrown around?
Yeah, okay.
That's actually what I was planning on doing while you were playing with, like, doing all of this.
I'll let you do that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'll keep this child.
Yeah, because Hart wants absolutely nothing to fucking do with any of these goddamn Yetis. There is an injured man.
They are quite terrifying. They've got big claws, they've got big teeth, and they've got opposable thumbs, which are the most evil things on earth. So, so Yeti Mom has like leaned back and she's doing like the full-on salon talk with Rocky. And Hart, you walk up to this guy. There's something familiar about him. You feel like you've seen him before.
Him, but girl?
Do not resist. You are being rescued.
There is a low groan that comes from the guy. He kind of rolls over. His robes are the color of mustard.
Mustard!
Not my name.
Are you injured at all? Do you need any assistance?
Nope. I'm just very, very tired.
Well,
Never catch up to you.
Hart is going to, he's gonna reach into his bag and pull out a good berry and offer it to the guy.
He's still got one hand covering his mouth very dramatically, but he will reach out and accept it.
Where's Copper, whatever his name was? Where's Teddy Bear guy?
Lucas?
Are you talking about the gnome fellow?
Yes. We heard that he had come up here with you. Have you seen him recently?
He's gonna kind of roll onto like to sit up. He's a really skinny guy and he's kind of shivering.
Yeah, Hart will help
in
him.
the cold. He pops the good berry into his mouth and he says, "The gnome and the tiefling ran away when the Yetis attacked."
That's understandable.
I also tried to run away into a place that seemed to have some cover. Turned out it was the Yeti's cave.
All things considered, not your best choice, but
For a
mistakes have been
divination
made.
wizard, I really should have seen it coming.
That's true. But you're safe now. It looks as though Rocky...
What are you doing here?
Well, we're looking for the gnome. Her, but boy. And Hart will motion back to Lydia.
Right.
Same thing we've been doing since, well, last we interacted, actually.
He kind of looks past you at Garrett, and it seems that there's like a certain amount of like meaning that kind of goes between them. And he's like, how do you know this fellow?
I don't at all. Or Garrett?
No.
Oh, but boy.
Baba Booey.
Baba
Sorry,
Booey.
go on.
But boy.
I honestly don't know him at all. I've never met him once in my life, but my friend Lydia here, that he's her brother, and it's very important to her that we find him. So I'm just doing a thing to help out my friend.
You see his eyebrows kind of go up at Garrett, and Garrett just kind of gives him like one nod that seems to have some sort of meaning. And Mustard just kind of shrugs a little bit to himself, kind of shakes that off as though like, oh, well, fine, whatever. He's going to get up slowly. And as he does so, there's a low growl from Mama Yeti. And he's all like,
I wouldn't do that if I were you, pal.
I very much would like to.
I'll see what I can do.
Or he has the little tyke like by the feet, just hanging him upside down.
At this point, Lydia would have like snuck out of the
It's
backpack.
like, go.
And gone over to where Mustard and Hart are.
It's pretty clear that Mustard has been through a lot. Mechanically, he has 3 levels of exhaustion. He is quite battered and bruised. Like mechanically not missing any hit points, but like he's real tired, man. Turns out playtime lasts for a long time with the tykes. Can't hear you.
I'm really sorry. It would really mean a lot to me if you told me more about where my brother went, if you saw him, why he was here with you. I don't relish having to ask you all these questions, but
I understand why you would want to ask all of these questions, but I'd rather answer them under much less threatening circumstances. And he kind of like gives an eye at Mama Yeti over there.
Yeah, Rocky's just gonna lean in over her shoulder, growl something. Probably translates to, "Don't you have enough food?" Like in an almost playful, sassy way.
Oh, that's adorable. She chuffs a chortle at you and basically says, play toys are food for the soul, and any spare moment that you can get away from the tyke is very valuable.
I should be
Or you're still
visiting
playing
more,
for the
really. I tell you, I got a job down there.
Adorable. Okay. Kuori, give me another athletics check as you are distracting the tyke, because he's going to tire of trying to get back up to your papoose once he realizes that Lydia's not there anymore.
21.
All right. That's super good, and it's exactly what you need, because as a Yeti tyke, he's rolling flat, but he just got a natural 20. That means nothing because we are going off of actual numbers here.
Mm-hmm.
You got exactly what you needed to beat him
thank
there.
God.
So like he
what was the lady's name in the village she's from? The Whisper, the Soother,
the what from the village that you're from specifically?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'd have to dig through my
but what is she? The Speaker.
Oh,
the
yes.
speaker.
Yeah, the speaker. Yes.
She plays with the speaker's kids all the time. This is nothing.
Exactly. Well, I mean, like it's like the energy of every single one of those kids wrapped up into a thing with horns and claws and teeth. So like it's kind
just
of
like back home. It's fine.
it manages to kind of like, because you're like pushing on him to like prevent him from like getting closer to you, it manages to like back up a little bit so that you lean forward, and then it like gets up on your arm and crawls up to try and get into your papoose, and it crawls all the way into the papoose, looking for Lydia, and basically like comes out like making disgruntled noises like, "Lydia's not here."
I tricked you.
And so it like looks around, like spots her, and then like tries to like pounce off of you to go and get her, and you just snatch it straight out of the air.
Yeah.
And the two of you are just wrestling.
Yeah. I'm wrestling this baby Yeti.
Baby Yeti! Okay. So yes, that is occurring. Lydia, meanwhile, you're talking to Mustard, as well as Hart. Rocky, you're distracting Mom. Mustard would very much like to leave the room, but Mom seems to be reluctant to allow that to happen.
Borrow a toy?
Rocky will offer babysitting services. He can get away for a couple of weeks.
Okay. That's pretty good. Mom seems amenable to that.
Plus, it gives me some time to go up the mountain and see my folks.
All right. She will accept this. Because, like, who better to babysit your kid than the kid of a person you know?
Just leave me pizza money in the fridge.
I mean, pizza money's probably going to be a person.
Leave the pizza money in the fridge? Just open the fridge and there's a 20. Like,
that's where you find food, man. Okay. The whole world is the fridge. It's Icewind Dale. Anyway, so she seems amenable to this. She kind of walks over to Mustard, and she'll just kind of look him over, and then like snuff dismissively at him, and then turn away. go and sit down and kind of enjoy her time left with Rocky, he has been dismissed.
Yeah, I think at that, Hart is probably just gonna like, all right, I think we're good to go. He just starts like helping Mustard up, and if nobody else, if Mama
Rocky
isn't,
gives
like,
a thumbs up.
yeah, just like, all right, let's get out of this cave with all of the bones and heads and alcoves.
I'm just gonna add Kuori's doing that thing where she takes the tyke, throws it across the ice so it slides, comes running back,
and then it like comes
catches,
running back at her.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
kills him again.
If anybody's ever seen YouTube videos of like
Yeah.
people doing that with cats,
Yeah,
yeah, fuck yeah. All right,
that's what
yeah,
she's doing.
totally into that. You all are you're basically given permission to leave by the mother, which is all you'll really need. The tyke seems disappointed to let you guys go, but it goes to go and pester Mom instead, and you can hear a groan from her as it does so.
Kuori will. Is Rocky staying?
He basically promised to come back later.
Okay, okay. Then Kuori's gonna be thumbs up to both Yeti Mom and Tyke. How do you say goodbye, Rocky?
Oh, thumbs up is like a sign of aggression for
Oh God,
Yetis.
no!
Oh,
Rocky, how do you say
fun
goodbye?
fact, you don't bow to Yetis, you stand tall, because bowing means that you're pointing your horns at them.
So do I stand tall to say goodbye?
Stand tall, beat your breast twice, and make a circle symbol.
She'll stand the tallest she can, beat her best breast twice, and just.
The Yeti tyke scrambles off the mom and kind of tumbles a little bit as it does so. It kind of like trips over itself in its eagerness to emulate this, as it seems proud to be able to show off the thing that it's been practicing so much. So
I
it
know
stands,
they just killed a lot of people, but they're so cute.
stands way up tall on its tippy toes and makes the biggest motion it can with its arm.
She'll stand up tall and like approving nod.
Excellent. All right. You all are dismissed from the Yeti's cave. And as you head out of the cave, you can hear that there is a kind of a soft cooing from the mother Yeti, basically saying her goodbyes in the least aggressive way that she can possible. It's like a and you guys head out to the cave, and as the wind begins to beat into you again, just kind of finding all of the crevices of your winter wear that it deems unsuitable, like not as well suited to keeping out the wind, just like daggers going in. You are able to make it a few steps outside of the cave before you hear a much louder, much deeper emulation of that sound echoing off of the mountain, just like a
Do I recognize this?
that is Dad. And Rocky, Dad doesn't like you. And we will resolve that when we come back from break.
Rocky, why doesn't Dad like you?
Why doesn't Dad like you, Rocky?
Because I'm the fucking runt!
Ooh. So with that, we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon! Hello, everybody! We are back! We have angered a Yeti Papa who is off in the distance. Things are clearly on the upside for all of us. Danae, take it away.
Papa is very mad. You hear this Yeti call come echoing off of the walls. You have only moments to kind of converse amongst yourselves over how you're going to handle this situation, as you can literally see his shadow cast across the snow. He seems to be approaching swiftly. I'm going to give you a brief moment to converse with one another before we go directly into initiative.
I don't think he wants belly rubs.
Rocky?
He'll point to an alcove away from the path and say, "Best if y'all hide in there,
And
'cause
you?
I know who he's after."
We're not going to leave you alone, Rocky.
It's fine. I've got a plan.
She'll like take him by the shoulders.
Garrett's got his bow off of his shoulder, but he looks really uncertain about the situation.
Go into the alcove.
He looks at you, Rocky, and he says, "We can't fight this thing. If we kill it, then the mother's going to be mad."
Yeah, that's why you hide. I lead him away.
All right. He kind of curses and then like heads towards the alcove and like kind of guides you all towards there. Like Garrett's all like basically like, gotta follow Rocky's plan now. Gonna get killed. And as they do so, Rocky, you're at the beginning of initiative. What's your plan?
Where are we exactly? Still inside?
You're a little bit outside of the cave, like far enough that like it would be difficult to get back in there without it seeing you. There is an alcove off to the side, I'll say, that the rest of the group can get to, or at least most of them. What are you doing on your initiative?
He is going
the
to
Yeti, comes around the corner.
You see him basically smirk at this Yeti, and then he will pitch his head back and bellow. And you hold on, you just hear hold on.
Oh, he's gonna do it, guys.
Amazing.
It's so great to be in the same house as the DM.
You get to do a lot of fun stuff that way. All right.
But eventually he's just going to cast Zephyr Strike on himself and run 60 feet away, or 120 feet away.
With that bellow, give me a persuasion check at advantage.
Oh, thank God. One was 1, the other was an 18, so 17.
Okay. Rocky has done his plan. He's starting to run away now?
Yeah, but he'll keep in sight, basically, to get the Yeti to get out the cave.
All right. Kuori, Hart, Garrett, Lydia, and Boy all go before the Yeti in initiative, so you will be able to get behind the alcove. Are you planning on doing anything else aside from, like, carrying out the plan?
Lydia will make sure she's not in the backpack and will try to hide herself just amongst the snow in the alcove.
Kuori will kind of usher people from behind because she's bigger, so she's gonna have them go in first and provide as much cover for them as she can.
All right. As you are moving, you realize that Mustard is lagging behind. His speed has been halved, and he is trying his best to amble through the snow as quickly as possible. But you can tell that much of his reserves have been expended, and he is not going to get there in time.
Hart is, once he gets to the alcove after being ushered there by Kuori, he's just sort of standing there. He's shaking, but like it's one of those, like his staff is shaking as he's standing there caught in fright, and the little baubles and trinkets that he has on the end begin to rattle. And he is going to cast a fog cloud centered on the inside of the cave, on the alcove that they're in, that can then like get all of us as well as Mustard. So as the Yeti's coming by, we'll at least be in some sort of obscure.
All right. Which direction did you run, Rocky? Towards the alcove or away?
Away.
All right, you are not obscured by this fog cloud when the Yeti comes around the corner, slapping his chest and chopping angrily. You can tell that he recognizes you and he abhors your existence. He is going to bellow back at you in defiance, mostly. Basically, like, whatever you're trying isn't going to work. And I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
no.
What's the range on that ability?
30 feet.
I'm away from that ability. I
All
have
right.
120-foot movement that turn.
Cool. He moves 120-foot movement?
Yeah, I double moved twice.
All right. In that case, he's going to double move, and he's going to try and chase you down. He's going to move 80 feet in a straight line towards you. And he has a climb speed as well. So he will climb over whatever rocks, whatever wall that he needs to in order to get towards you. Yeah, he don't like you, though. You got 120 feet away?
Yeah.
Can you maintain that speed?
No. It was only turn 1.
All right, he's within 40 feet of you now.
Cool.
On Mustard's turn, he's going to finish making his way towards you guys. He bumbles through the fog and unable to see where he's going. Yeah, and basically like goes headlong into a wall of like Kuori, and like he kind of like, you know, sort of like pushes himself off, and like you can hear like apologetic noises coming from him.
That's my
and then
chest.
sorry. And he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna, the snow seems like a good place for me to be.
It was a joke. I was trying to lighten the mood.
Let's over. All right. So that's Mustard, Rocky at the beginning of your turn. Yeti is 40 feet away from you. I cannot hear you.
He goes into his cloak and pulls out 2 fistfuls of daggers. Boy, howdy. He's going to throw one at the Yeti. Does a 16 hit?
Yes, it does.
Cool. I am marking him as my favorite foe.
Okay.
And on this turn, the party can't see it, but the daggers gleam in his hands, and there is a sort of frost that coats over them as even more daggers start spilling out of his cloak, and they will float around him.
Sorry, how much damage was that?
I have not rolled damage yet. I'm flavoring.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right.
Gotta
You're fine.
add the spice.
Gotta add the spice. Okay. Quick maths. So that's 7 and 9 and a d6 for 13 on the first.
Okay.
And then he'll launch another dagger at them.
Mhm.
Does 20 dirty.
Yep, hits.
And that one only deals 7 points, so a grand total of 20 points of piercing damage.
All right. There is an indignant screech from the Yeti as 2 knives just disappear into its fur.
Okay, yeah.
You see it reach up and kind of yank one, like mostly just kind of like scratching, like it's trying to like get rid of an irritant. Just kind of scratches at that knife, and you see it fall out of its body, and its white fur begin to stain with blood.
Yeah.
Just double checking.
He's going to use 30 feet of movement to keep on trucking.
Okay. Kuori, you are in a fog cloud. And that Yeti and Rocky are now 80 feet away.
I trust. I trust you, Rocky.
Okay.
I'm
Shouldn't
kidding.
we help him?
I'm kidding.
Hart.
I'm actually gonna help. I will. He may be 80 feet, but I can shoot up to 120 feet with Fireball as my bonus action as my action because I have now.
Okay.
Magic. Level
Yeah.
3.
So I was too excited. Words were coming out.
All right, go for it.
23.
Okay, that definitely hits.
It's not a lot, but I can reroll once and do 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. You plunk 7 points of damage off of that Yeti. But as flames lick across its back, its shrieks turn from angry and indignant to fearful, as it seems fire bad for Yetis. It does not like that at all. And it now has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the end of its next turn.
Okay. And that is it for my bonus. I don't have a bonus action, so she's just gonna lay low again.
Okay. Hart, it's your turn.
She'll yell fire bad for them.
Okay.
Fire bad.
Hart is so Mustard, aka Soldalgo, Castor.
Okay.
He's in the snow, right? He's looking pretty rough.
He's looking rough in the sense that he has a lot of... he's not missing any hit points.
Yeah, no, but looking rough and just like moving is difficult for him, like he's having a difficult time.
Yes.
Hart is seeing if they need to get out of here in a quicker amount of time. Hart will actually bend down next to Soldago and say, "Put your arm around my shoulder and just hold on." And then he is going to use a wild shape to turn into an elk. And then that way Soldalgo will be on his back, and if they need to make an escape, then he can just carry him out.
Nice. Badass. I love it. Garrett on his turn is gonna kind of put a hand up on Kuori and say, be careful, we can't kill this thing. Can't hear you. Just a nod.
Yeah, she says, I know, I'm just trying to scare it.
He nods at you in the fog. He says, I hope you know what you're doing. Lydia.
Of course I do. Of course she doesn't.
Okay, so we have to help Rocky, but we can't kill this thing. That's interesting. Has his panics as to what to do.
You can hop on.
Okay, she will hop on Hart's back with the fellow gnome known as Mustard. And
Mustard isn't a gnome.
oh, I thought he was a gnome as well.
Nah, he's a fella.
He's a human.
My apologies.
There's
Then
room.
she will she'll hop on. And I am going to, I guess, just I will prepare and hold my action if I see if we get within 60 feet of the Yeti at any time, then I will cast Sacred Flame.
All right, gotcha. Lydia stands at the ready. Boy will do something similar, and he will stay close to you guys and bite at anything that comes near. The Yeti is going to close the distance between himself and Rocky, in so much as he moves the final 40 feet to get within 30 feet so he can use his chilling gaze.
Don't I go before the Yeti?
He hasn't had his turn yet this round.
He moved up to me, and then he double moved.
Yes, he double moved to get within 80, to move 80 feet get within a. Am I doing my math wrong here? Where's the disconnect?
The disconnect is turn order. So does the Yeti go before Rocky or does the Yeti go after Rocky?
Rocky is at the top of the initiative. We have resolved everybody else's actions for this initiative.
Okay,
the Yeti's initiative
Yeti
has just come up.
So that means it goes Yeti and then Rocky, who's at the top of the initiative order. So Yeti has not gone yet. That was the disconnect.
Yes.
We're good now.
It's Rocky, everybody else, Yeti, Mustard, and then back to Rocky again.
Okay, because the Yeti chased me out the cave right after me. In turn order.
I don't see how. We basically skipped everybody else's for that one round as they ran away.
We were hiding.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they all basically used their turn to move into the alcove. Yeah, that's what happened. Okay. Yeti closes the distance so he can get within 30 feet of you, and he uses his chilling gaze. I need a Constitution saving throw.
16.
All right. You succeed. Okay. It is basically trying to intimidate you, but you are familiar with this. It is something that you have failed in the past as a young boy. By this very same Yeti looking you in the eyes and magically compelling fear from you. It literally would chill you to the bone, but you have seen this before, and you are refusing to be afraid in this moment. On Mustard's turn, he's basically just gonna stay on the elk that's saving his life. Rocky, at the top of the round, you are facing down with this large critter that could easily kill you, and you are not allowed to kill. When you suddenly hear a bellow from behind, and another enormous shadow falls over you. You see the Yeti in front of you, snarling and staring at you. Suddenly his face goes slack and he looks up as the significantly larger figure that is your mother towers above. And she bellows at him, leaving condensation in the air. And she comes down hard on top of him with her claws balled up into fists, and she batters him about the shoulders as she comes down. The two of them are now in a tangle. It seems that they're having a disagreement over how he has decided to treat her son. You have an opportunity to escape.
In the background, you just see Rocky tilt his head back. And then he runs.
You all have an opportunity to run.
I imagine like Hart just leaps out of where the fog cloud is, so it's like nice fog wreathing off of him, Mustard, and Lydia as we just fucking like... That is the go sound. There are too many Yetis for Hart to be comfortable.
Garrett turns to the rest of you as you're running, and he says there are two laws in Kelvin's Cairn. It's always remember the reason you're climbing, and never mess with a mother Yeti's child.
I guess Rocky is a mother, is a Yeti's child.
Apparently.
Do you think he'll teach me how to speak Yeti? She says as they're running.
You can ask him yourself.
Lydia's holding on for dear life onto the back of like Mustard's robes as you're galloping throughout the snow.
Rocky's like over a rock. He's going, "Yeah, Mom, get him!
Get him!"
Eventually you get to a point where Garrett literally stops you all, and he says, we need to stop and rest, or we're all going to get altitude sickness, particularly since we're running. Stop and breathe for a second.
Inhale 4 count, exhale 8. I remembered.
Good on you, Rocky.
Yeah, Hart will just like kneel down and wait for people to get off of his back.
Yep. Mustard just kind of slides off into the snow. And you can see that he's just kind of got like a hand over his heart. You could feel it like thumping against your elk fur. And he's all but hyperventilating, trying to catch his breath. You all have already begun to feel the effects of going up the mountain. The air is much thinner here. I'd like everyone to make Constitution saves.
You see that Kuori's once bright, dark blue scarf is now a lighter shade of blue. I got a 22 on my Constitution save.
Very nice.
15.
Hart will revert back to wood elf form. That's cocked. A con save, you
Yes,
say?
please.
A 12.
12. All right. Unfortunately, a 12 isn't going to make it. You're going to get 1 level of exhaustion. Mustard also failed his con save. He's now at 4.
Oh, no.
And I think Boy is fine. And Garrett is also fine.
Was a 15 enough?
15 was good. But you are all free to take a short rest if you would like.
Yep. That sounds nice.
As they are sitting there, you can see Mustard is looking pretty green about the gills. And he says, "Can anyone explain to me why we're going up the mountain instead of back down?"
There are 2 Yeti fighting, or actually mountain people fighting right now.
Well, that's a good enough reason for me. But is anyone opposed to perhaps maybe not going farther up the Murder Mountain? And Garrett will kind of sidle up to him and say, Asterisk and Lucas. And he kind of like pauses as he's looking at Mustard and saying this, are still up here. We need to look for them. And Mustard just kind of shoots him a glare. And he's all like, you and your code.
Look, I need to find my brother. Now, you're more than welcome to stay with us and help, which means going up this mountain. Or by all means, there's the snow. Keep walking on your own. If you think you can make it back down this mountain in better condition than you can making it up this mountain with us, then go for it. But what I don't need is you slowing me down. So decide now whether or not you're in this or you're out.
He looks at you. Give me an intimidation check. This seems pretty intimidating to me.
Lydia is good at those, surprisingly. Intimidation +2. 19.
That's my bubba girl.
That's very good. He says, I don't have to be a diviner to know that I would die on my own out here. I have no choice but to go with you and die with you, evidently.
Well, I don't think that any of us plan on dying, but at least we need to keep moving as soon as it's safe to.
Garrett will take off his jacket and kind of throw it around Mustard, who has started to shiver pretty severely. And Garrett says, we shouldn't stay too long up here. We find what we're looking for and we leave.
Yes. There's no need to spend more time here.
Just as a Question. Lesser restoration can't fix exhaustion
No.
levels, can it?
That's greater.
Greater resto,
Damn
yeah.
it. I didn't think so. I thought I would double check.
At the 5th level of exhaustion, movement speed is reduced to 0. So Mustard would be entirely reliant on you guys to move around. And at 6, it's dead. Just for a little bit of perspective on what's going on there.
If I carry him, will my speed be halved?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I
But
can carry
that-
him then.
Be about as fast as he would be going otherwise. So
Yeah, I will then carry him.
okay. Moving forward, I would like a group survival check to seek the people that you are looking for.
Okay. Feet don't fail me now.
Is
That's a
this
24, do you?
I see your 24, and I raise it a natural 1.
No!
Oh, that
Hart.
trumps me, I guess.
Hart, you're helping.
Is
Are-
it now?
Are we getting checked from anybody else?
22.
16.
All right. That is a success from the majority of the party, which means that the group check is a success. Woo! Group checks, they're so nice, right?
Thank God.
Yeah.
You spend a few more hours making your way up the mountain. You have to stop frequently to rest, as Garrett is very insistent you do so. But the longer you go, the clearer it becomes that there is some friction between him and Mustard. Something that seems to be pretty deep set. It seems to be a part of something's been going on between the two of them since before you guys arrived, and that disagreement seems to be reaching a head.
I'm going to stop in front of everyone. Whatever the fuck you two have going out, you better settle it now, because I'm here to go get my friend's brother and survive this stupid fucking mountain.
Hey,
Sorry, I didn't mean that. Survive this fucking mountain.
thank you.
So, fix whatever it is you have between the two of you. Now.
Mustard kind of glares at Garrett, and Garrett says, "You know I can't do that." And
Kuori will
Mustard,
turn her head and just glare at Mustard. Use your words.
well, I'm a man of honor, so I understand when a man says that he's going to give his word to someone. But people's lives are in danger. You need to know when to hold them and when to fold them. It is not my responsibility to say whatever Garrett needs to say to you, but I will have it be known that he hasn't been entirely honest with you. And
Kuori's
Garrett,
glare just turns to Garrett.
Garrett just kind of shakes his head at him and says, "Being petty doesn't help."
Not being honest doesn't help either. We're in a very dire situation.
No, it certainly doesn't help. And you see as Lydia's hand starts to glow a little bit, this light lilac purple. Now, it takes every single one of us to get up this mountain, being at full strength. I have the ability to make you tell the truth. Or I have the ability to heal you if you become gravely injured. I'll let you choose what I do. And
She also has the ability to fuck you up.
This sounds like an intimidation check at advantage. You're talking to Garrett right now?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'll take the 16. So 19 total.
That's pretty darn good. But Garrett is a hard man. He sets his jaw and he says, well, if finding answers is worth killing a man and not allowing him to return to his family, then I suppose that's up for you to decide. But
That depends.
but I keep my word. And that's the end of the conversation. While this conversation is occurring, Hart, you are one of the fellas with the highest perception here. And you are not immediately involved in this conversation.
No.
I would say that you notice something off in the distance. And it appears to be a collapsed tent, half buried in the snow. And there is a figure in cold weather clothing sitting in the snow with their knees pulled up to their chest. And they are looking down at something. Horns are protruding out from underneath the hood.
Yeah, Hart is... As soon as he hears Lydia being like, I have the ability to make you tell the truth or to heal you, mentally he's like, I have the ability to turn into a deer. And like he's just like not catching on to the gravitas of the situation at all. And instead, like, he probably just starts like wandering off, like nobody's paying attention to him in this moment. He doesn't sense that, like, he gets that there's hostility. He doesn't want to be around that, like, so instead he just sees somebody who looks cold. And so he's going to just start like trudging off in their general direction while everyone else is getting angsty in the back. And then just approaching, do they look like do I see like tufts of breath coming from them, or did they like freeze dead there?
They are utterly motionless.
Hart will like kind of like skimp down a little bit in front of them and like make a hand motion in front of them.
Looking at the face of this figure, it is that of a female tiefling. There is a look of utter despair. Her teeth are clenched, and there are icicles kind of hanging off of the extremities of her face. It does appear that she has frozen to death in the snow. Following her line of sight, she is looking down at a smaller humanoid wearing blue boots and that is half buried in the snow.
Hart will just and just start like making noises and start he usually wears his fingerless gloves, so he's just like beginning to dig through the snow.
If they're embroiled in this conversation, can Rocky look over and like walk over to Hart?
Yeah, Hart's just like making like a shrieking yodel noise.
Yeah, I think you can all hear distressed Hart noises coming from over there somewhere.
Hart, what did you do now? We don't have time for this.
Large Goliath steps just go towards where Hart
Looking over,
Terminator
Hart,
run.
Hart,
Yeah.
we don't have time for this. There's just a dead body sitting on a log, and Hart's like burrowing in the snow.
Oh my god. Lydia will start seeing it. Lydia will start running over. But at first, she's very focused on getting the truth out of Garrett. So she's like, oh no, Hart's gotten himself in trouble again.
Right.
Probably fell in some ice. Typical Hart.
Okay. So she will start running over there because I presume from where she is standing, she cannot see anything except the figure and Hart digging. She cannot see any smaller humanoid from where she is.
Okay. So the group kind of reaccumulates around this scene. Hart is busy trying to dig this figure out of the snow. It is pretty clear that this figure is dead. But the more that you dig, Hart, the clearer it becomes, first to you and then to the rest of the people that are assisting you with this venture. First of all, this figure is not a gnome. It is a dwarf. And second of all, it is headless.
Checks out. Yeah, as soon as they're like I am assuming it's like, okay, I freed their legs. Okay, I freed their tummy. Okay, I freed their and he just like kind of like stumbles back a little bit, realizing that they're headless, and just, I think I know where the rest of this one is. It's bad.
Yeah. Uncle Og's a bit of a dick.
I thought it was Auntie Og.
No. Oz, sorry.
Your family is very strange. Do you have this in your home? Do you also just have It doesn't matter.
Garrett makes his
porcelain unicorns.
That's adorable. Garrett makes his way over to the group, and he kind of looks down, pulling at his beard. He says, "This here's Blue Boots. He's been here for years. We use him as a marker for how far we've come." And he kind of looks down at the tiefling. There's a look of like sadness in his eyes, and he kind of kneels in front of her, and you can hear him kind of murmuring to her like, "Sorry, I couldn't help you."
Is this Asterix?
He nods. And there is a loud thud from the other side of the group. And you can see that Mustard has dragged himself over towards you guys, and he has just thrown down his pack in what appears to be protest. And he points at Garrett and he says, "Tell them. We are all going to run up and down this mountain until we die. We are going to end up like her. Tell them." And Garrett just kind of looks up at Mustard, looks over at Asterisk, and he says, "Your brother never came up the mountain."
You see this pause after Lydia has just lost about 10 years of her life thinking that the small humanoid buried in the snow was in fact her brother, before all of a sudden this crackling purple energy starts lifting up the ends of her hair and glowing around her as she turns to Garrett and with completely silver overed irises stares at him and just screams, "Where is my brother?" in the lowest tone of voice that any of you have ever heard.
Is it like one of those double layer things, like we hear Lydia's voice, but then there's like that deep underlying one with it as well?
The guttural bass line of just, "Where is my brother?"
Mm-hmm.
And at this moment, actually, Lydia is going to cast Zone of Truth over Garrett.
Oh, fuck.
So I need a Constitution saving throw from him.
At disadvantage because he's exhausted. I think that's going to be a failure, a 6.
Yeah, he needed a 15, so.
Okay. He has a very stern look in his eyes. You can see the purple magic and the silver emitting from her face are just kind of illuminating his countenance. And he is not compelled to speak by a Zone of Truth. However, he seems to be willing enough at this moment. He looks you straight in the eye and he says very straight, your brother paid me to lie about whether or not he went up the mountain. He was trying to throw people off his trail. He said nobody could know that he survived the trip up the mountain. We all were supposed to lie for him. We all were supposed to say that he died here. We took him to the base of the mountain, and then he continued east to the towns that lie that direction.
Did he tell you where he was going specifically?
He did not. I believe that he was worried for his life, but I believe he was worried for yours too. He specifically told me that if his sister came looking for him, that I shouldn't tell her where he was going.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
I've seen a man in trouble before. And this was a boy that was in over his head.
Yeah, I need you to take us to the last spot that you saw him. I need you to get us off this mountain as quickly as possible. And I need you to honor your promise to my brother. If anyone asks, he died on this mountain. That goes for the both of you. And she'll look over to Mustard. That was my brother's corpse we found with Asterisk. And if anyone finds out otherwise, it won't be Zone of Truth it won't be a truth spell that I'm casting on you. Now let's go. And she'll just start walking away.
Hart.
Go follow her, picking up Mustard on the way.
I was gonna say Hart will.
It's like a noodle.
Hart could just turn into an elk again for Mustard to be on, so that way Kuori isn't like weighed back at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She'll pick him up and put him on Hart.
Lydia will purposely like walk in front of the group as much as possible. Like normally she would be happy to be with Hart and Kuori and like on Kuori's backpack, and she is not looking back at the group. She is just walking in a direction that seems like it's down.
Rocky's gonna jog up, be within, not close to her, but within arm's length, and just gently tap her on the shoulder and point in the other direction.
She'll just turn and not even make eye contact or say anything to Rocky. She just pivots and starts walking.
But he'll stay within arm's length.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it is a quiet, tense, long trek back down the mountain. It is not without perils, but I think that we can sort of fast play and basically say that you face them, but we don't have to play them out. It takes the better part of the day to make it back down the mountain, and it is night by the time you reach its base. What is your plan going forward?
What towns would be east of Calvin's Cairn?
There's Cairn Konig?
Yes.
Konig.
It's Cairn Konig and Cairn Dinable. You could go to the northernmost town and start your search there, and then just continue south.
That would be the closest to the base, would be like straight across from the base of Kelvin's Cairn would be Cairn Konig.
It's 5 miles to Cairn Konig. If you went all night and then a little bit through the morning, you would be there.
Lydia, we need to rest.
I know. I know we need to rest.
You won't find him if you die of exhaustion out in the tundra.
I won't find him if we keep getting led down goose trails of mountain climbing and finding dead dwarves and... I need to find him, Kuori. I think he's running out of time. It feels like I am. I know that you'll do anything to help me find my brother, and I'll never be able to express my gratitude for that fully, but we've run into so many distractions. I want to help people. I do. I grew up doing it. Part of my life's work is helping people move on from loved ones who have passed away. I refuse to have to help myself move on from my brother.
From now on, Lydia, you go straight to the trail that your brother left. But we need to be well rested to fight whatever else is in the tundra. He has to rest too. We'll rest, and we'll catch up with him in the morning.
Okay.
You promise me?
I promise.
Pinky promise.
Yes, Pinky promise.
She'll squeeze your pinky.
Too hard, too hard,
Oh,
too
I'm
hard.
so sorry. No, sorry.
It's such a small pinky.
I keep forgetting. See, so back home, sometimes you would be like pinky promise, and then just almost try to break each other's pinky. Like the harder you squeeze, the harder you made the promise.
Right, yeah. Thanks, Kuori.
She'll give her a smile and hug her.
Is hugged.
Is hugged by big buff woman.
Meanwhile, Garrett is busying himself about getting his sled righted, the dogs hooked up, Mustard strapped into sled, and getting ready to head back to Targos. I believe that we can arrange for Rocky to go to Tourmaline for you guys, and have the messages that were intended to rendezvous with you there, rendezvous at a different town for you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to decide what town that is right now, but one of the cares along the lake wouldn't be a bad idea.
Okay.
Either that or Brinchander. That's a pretty central place that you'll probably end up going to eventually. We can decide later.
Yeah.
If anything, I'll just drop a paper bird off to you guys, tell you where I left it.
That's fair.
Just
Thank you
bury
for
it in the snow
everything.
somewhere.
Wait,
A dead
Rocky,
drop.
I have
Hey.
one more question for you.
What's up?
Can you teach me how to speak Yeti?
Oh, that's it might just sound like a bunch of growls and grunts, but it's a really complex language.
Hey, Rocky.
Hey.
What's a Yeti?
Yeah. You guys keep saying Yeti. Pardon my dwarvish, but what the fuck's a Yeti?
It's what we encounter in the cave.
Covered in fur.
You mean the mountain people?
Those are
Yetis.
Yetis.
Those are
Not
people?
people.
You know, like I said, the language is kind of complex. It's more of a literal language, so mountain people probably translates to Yeti. Funny enough, I found out that my name isn't actually Boxer Rocks. That's the literal translation. It's actually a barrel of precious metal.
Aww. That's adorable.
You really are a hidden gem, Rocky.
Ah, thanks. You're not so bad yourself, Lydia.
But seriously, would you teach me how to speak Yeti? Sorry, mountain people.
It's gonna take a while, but
I'll find the time at some point. I'll see you again.
yeah. Just so you know, thump your chest twice. Circular wave.
I got
Peace sign.
it. Got it. Don't bow.
Don't bow. Keep your head up straight. Especially if you have horns. Looking at you,
Not
Hart.
I don't think.
And he'll
I could
ruffle
move.
Hart's hair.
Hart just sort of like shirks back, like when you go to like put your hand on the top of a cat, just like, ugh.
Don't
Sweet.
like.
But yeah. You all stay safe.
At some point before he leaves, Garrett is strapping Mustard down into his sled, and he'll kind of lean over to Hart and say to him, I'd be careful around that girl. She'll do anything to find her brother. I can tell.
Honestly, if you wouldn't do anything for your family, I think that's pretty poor sport.
Does Rocky overhear this?
He's saying
thought-
it to Hart.
Oh, it's a Hart, sorry. Whoops. I do have a 15 passive. Just walk by.
Garrett just grabs Rocky's face and pushes it off screen.
Hart will nod and then will look towards Garrett and say, we each have our own destinies that we have to fulfill. Whether it's finding our brother, whether it's stopping winter, there's something we all have to do. And then he smiles and says, have a nice day, Garrett. And then he just will stand up. Have a nice day, Mustard.
It's not my name!
Sorry, Sodalgo.
Mustard.
He looks kind of surprised for a second. He's all like, you have a nice day too.
And Hart just sort
Don't
of
tell
like
me what to do.
smiles.
He kind of tucks himself in, like, he crosses his arms and it makes him look like a little sourpuss lemon drop sitting on this sled. But it's probably mostly just to keep him warm. Regardless, he cuts kind of a grumpy figure sitting there. And Garrett will kind of plop his wizard's hat back onto him and like sort of tuck it forward.
By the by,
and-
Garrett, can you tell Mom I'm going to take a bit of a vacation?
I can do that.
All right. Be seeing you then.
Hey, Rocky, before you go.
Hmm.
And Lydia will sort of just like run up and very like motion for Rocky to sort of kneel down a little bit.
Yeah, he will.
And she just very tenderly like cups the side of his cheek. And a silver shimmer coats over Rocky. And she just says, take care of yourself. This hopefully will help if you run into any issues getting back to where you're going. And, if Rocky runs into anything, he's got advantage on his initiative roll because she cast Vigilant Blessing on him.
Yay, thanks. Yeah, Rocky will ruffle her hair, wave to Hart and Kuori. He gets a bit away from them and he'll cup his hands over his mouth and
Didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it?
No, not that time.
Hold on.
I unmuted myself and everything.
Hold
Okay.
on.
Okay, we're good.
Redo. This is for you audiocast listeners.
I mean, it's for the visual cast listeners too, because here he comes. It's beautiful. I love it. Hold on, he needs to unmute himself now.
Did it not go?
That
Sounds
one.
of nature.
It works this time. Hold on. Let me give it a go because there is an answering call from higher up the mountain.
Unmute yourself, RJ.
Hart is like when dogs get nervous and they just start panting and breathing really hard. Like, this is not okay for him.
I imagine that the two of them actually go back and forth for a while. There's an avalanche somewhere on the other side of the mountain. And Garrett throws his scrimshaw goggles on, and he spurs the dogs into motion. Boy is just absolutely elated to be back at the front of the team, just tongue lolling out of his mouth as he skids to a start, kind of kicking up snow for a little bit before all the other dogs get the idea to start moving as well. And whoosh, off they go towards Targos. Rocky has an opportunity to say goodbye to the rest of you before he starts heading off into the direction of Tourmaline so that he can go and run errands for you guys. Did you guys go ahead and rest that evening? I imagine you all would have gotten a long rest that evening, set up camp, and then had all of those interactions. And it is now morning as everybody is getting ready to leave. And we are left with Kuori, Lydia, and Hart getting ready to head east towards Cairn. And I think that we can call it for today.
Yay! Thank you, Danae, for running this wonderful game. I always have a blast whenever we can play Rime of the Frostmaiden, because this is just so juicy. It's such a good game. Such great folks. And Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. If you want to see my schedule of where I show up during streams, I don't have my own streaming channel, but I show up on a lot of other people's channels. And when I say that, I mean two. So go to my Twitter and find out where I am and when. DanaeKeener.com.
Hi everyone, it's me, Satan. You can find me over on Twitter, AliceVamp, but I just want to say thank you, Danae, for running this game. You're amazing, and I always love playing Rime of the Frostmaiden Sunday nights, and thank you all for playing with me. If you do like to see me play here, you can also find me playing in other games and other channels, and more on this channel, including our unfortunately soon ending, but very, very fun Tyrant Security campaign. That's on Thursday nights here. And next week on Wednesday, we are playing our once a month Monster in New Orleans, where I play my vampire mobster. You can also find me on various other channels. You can find me on Plot Hunter Saturdays, on Valiant on Saturday, on Nexus Adventure Sunday mornings. This morning there was a lot of gasp in Spanish reaction moments. There was. I got him. And you can also find me in my channel where I do art streams. I've been taking a break because the class started, but I believe not this Tuesday, but next one I will be having another one of my streams where I'm going to be with Sarah, which is Hype Goblin Angela over at Phoenix Femme, creating either a monster or an item. And you guys get to decide because we're going to put up a poll. So you guys get to pick what we're going to do, and we're going to make it on the spot. I'm going to draw it on the spot. So if you like seeing those types of things, go to LSFAP on Twitch and follow, and maybe subscribe and throw some money my way. I'm going to stop talking because I'm going to get word vomit, but thank you.
Oh, hi. It's me. Me is LizMac, also LizMacD22 on Twitter. You can find me here on Sunday nights. But for other times, you can find me kicking up some fun over at jabroni.tv. We've got a great group of streamers who run a schedule that lasts all week. Always something to watch, from video games to gaming news, sometimes cooking streams, even tabletop role-playing games such as this. And additionally, if you happen to be a coffee drinker, we actually are partnered with Found Familiar Coffee, who make D&D and tabletop RPG inspired coffee beans. They highlight local artists as well in the community. And if you use coupon code Jabroni at checkout, you get 10% off your order. and they're good beans and even better people. So make sure to check that out.
Hey everybody, it's me, your boy, RJ. You can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I normally tweet where I am. I'm a very busy bee, and I don't want to word vomit everything the third night in a row, so you can just check that out whenever I stream. But yeah, that's me. I love you all. DanaeKeener.com.
We love you too, buddy. And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/IndoorAdventures. We do shows like this on Mondays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as on Sundays at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/IndoorAdventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where Anywhere audio casts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. But speaking of those things that are being made available for free, we are going to be going to our Patreon supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community but also from each other. So if you have any questions that you wanted to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us on Discord. The link can be found below, or have asked them in the side chat of Twitch. This whole time, we will do our best to respond to those in kind. But for now, I would like to say once again to thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!